Oh,
So the Ten Tails is Otsutsuki, which is the tailed beast. Or I guess I should say Otsutsuki is Ten Tails, which is the tailed beast. So, as we know, Naruto's chakra contains both blue and red chakra. It was absorbed by the Divine Tree. Do you think that could be a reason why the Divine Tree evolved? It just ate an Otsutsuki by absorbing Naruto's chakra? By absorbing Kurama's
the problem is
chakra?
it absorbed before it did that.
The
Oh, then
problem,
well,
the real problem here is that it's absorbing its own chakra. This is the own Divine Tree's chakra that it's absorbing back. So either way, I think it just converts
yeah.
back. The real question is the Boruto Ten Tails. If it absorbed Naruto's chakra when he still had Kurama, since that's a different Ten
Maybe that's
Tails.
why Jura's mind wandered towards Naruto.
It's possible. Very interesting question.
It depends on whether it really depends on whether Jura's target is about the Nine Tails or Naruto, because it's still kind of ambiguous for now. Like Himawari was purely a Nine Tails interest because it's not in Naruto. Well, that's weird. Why is that? But Naruto himself is still up in the air until they have Jura have an internal monologue to think about it for once.
I mean, I still like the idea that Jura can be the body of the Ten Tails. That's fine. It's like the body and the eyes thing that like the Hagoromo was saying. Instead of eyes, it's like mental energy or whatever. So it's like similarly how Matsuri and everyone else came from a person, Jura can come from the Ten Tails, but he still has a person that his personality or behavior or whatever comes from. Because again, the Ten Tails is an unconscious being. It didn't like it can't just come from the Ten Tails, which had nothing consciously. I don't think it can do that. So I think it has to be coming from something. Otherwise,
Yeah,
Jura
it's
just would be dumb. Jura would be Hidari.
yeah,
Be a claw grind
yeah.
in terms of behavior. Where is it coming from? Like, it's not like you just have a consciousness out of nowhere. It can't just take the Ten Tails' consciousness as if it was some other person. Because the Ten Tails doesn't have a conscience, or it's whatever.
I mean, yeah.
Mindless.
You have three options.
Uh-huh.
So one is gonna be just it's a new consciousness that was just awakened via the code chakra. It's possible. Second would be Code's consciousness. It basically Jura is Code, the same way Hidari is Sasuke, which definitely doesn't seem to be implied at this point, but possible. The third would be assuming that Ten Tails is like Kaguya to where an Otsutsuki turned into it,
Yeah.
then the consciousness is that of Otsutsuki's, which
Yeah.
is the one I want. This is the one that's one of the theory videos I've been waiting like 8 months to make. Ever since the Shinju was, ever since chapter 4, I gotta fucking finish it already.
I mean,
That's the one I want, though.
I don't care if you
personally.
disagree. I still want Jura to be from Kawaki, and that's why his target is Naruto. And I think that all still just works out anyway.
So that one, the only issue with that one is well, I should have included that. That is still a possibility. It would be separate from who the Ten Tails was before in that case, but
yeah, in this case, it still works out
that
because
one would
the
be
chakra
kind of like
signature.
the code one.
The code one, I don't really care. Like, I'm not gonna hate it. I'm not gonna like it though. Like, I'm not. It's not that I'm gonna dislike it. It's just it's not gonna wow me.
Yeah.
But
More interested in code himself than a knockoff code.
yeah, but obviously,
But the same's true with Kawaki.
no, I think Kawaki works.
It works better than code. I will definitely say that. But
Okay, sure. But I think it works because if you really want to say that, oh, Jura's chakra wasn't identified from the Yamanaka system or whatever, I think this works if he just comes from the Ten Tails rather than from Kawaki, even though his behavior or whatever consciousness is from Kawaki. I think that can still work. In that
yeah,
case.
then you have to ask why is that?
I don't know. He needed someone, and that just worked. It could also be the fact that Kawaki's an
Yeah.
Otsutsuki, whereas the others aren't, and that could be the distinguishing factor of why Jura was Kawaki, as opposed to randomly he could have been Sasuke or Moegi or some other person.
Maybe. I mean, that works. Here's my thoughts. Narratively, I think there's a lot they could do with it because Jura could be a really interesting foil and mirror for Kawaki if they played into this. So kind of like Naruto with Gaara, to where like specifically what they do is up in the air, but like hypothetically, you get to a situation where Kawaki notices, and Jura as well, notices how they're kind of like mirrors for each other. Great, that's kind of what Code is, but ignoring him for a second. And you almost have like Kawaki almost seeing himself going after Naruto. Stuff you could play around with that would be interesting. And I like that aspect of it, but plot-wise, I don't like. I don't like it plot-wise, but narratively, I think there's a lot they could do with it. And conversely, I really like plot-wise the idea that Jura consciousness comes from the Otsutsuki that became that Ten Tails. Narratively, that's completely up in the air because I have no idea what they're going to do with that yet. But that's iffy there. But plot-wise, I love that one. But it's kind of interesting how I have this like flip-flop feeling.
Sure. Interesting. Okay.
I don't know if you agree with any of that, but
yeah, it's you know it's up there. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to feel it out.